Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Shred Zoom chat tonight. We are so excited and honored that you take some time out of your busy holiday season to come and hear our stories. So thanks for that. And hello to everyone who's going to be listening later when we share the link from YouTube. So I'm just really super honored that anyone would ever listen to my story because it's been such an amazing adventure and an amazing journey. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that. So I'm going to start us out by introducing you to my very dear friend, Cammie McMahon. And I met Cammie a few years ago, and I really need you to hear her story because this is all her fault. Because she started doing this Shred 10, and her body just kept changing, and I was kind of playing around with it, and finally I just had to do what Cammie was doing because I have to tell you, every time I saw her butt got cuter. So Cammie, with that amazing intro, take it away.
How do I go any further? My butt got cuter. That's the best part, right?
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm Cammie McMahon. I turned 41 in September. So back up 7 years before that, we found the plant concentrates, and I blame it on my husband because he's the one that got sick with mono, and they told us he'd be off 6 months, and we were like, yeah, no, you're the breadwinner. That can't happen. So we started on the capsules, the Juice Plus capsules, and 6 weeks later he went back to work. What happened with me was I was on 7 medications, was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, chronic sinus issues, bladder, kidney issues, you name it, it was going on. We lived at the doctor's office. One of us got something, we all 5 passed it around. Within 6 months, all that nonsense stopped. Within a year, I was off all medications. And then the Shred 10 program kind of came into play where I was already here, and I'm going to share so you can see my picture here. And so I was on the left, I was around 215 to 220 pounds. On the right, I'm down to 155. I decided when the program, I was already kind of doing the program really loosely, but when the program came about with the company, the Juice Plus company, I was like, okay, now this is something I can visually look at and go, I can follow this. And I was doing it every single month for 10 days. But then in the spring, I thought, you know what? Let's do this consistently. My husband and I had our 10-year anniversary in April. We were going to Mexico in June. And so I told him, I'm like, let's shred from March to June. And he looked at me like I was crazy. We did it anyway, because like all wives, we always have the best ideas, right? We did it anyway. And then on the right, that's me in Mexico in June. I hired a personal trainer. He's all online. We don't own a gym membership. We do it all here at the house. James is phenomenal. He implemented the Shred program. He gave me the exercises I needed to do. And I worked with him side by side for a very minimal amount of money. And then that's what happened. I was already well on my way, and I've kept it that way. I haven't changed. As far as weight's not changed in the upward side. I've gone down a few more pounds, but I have muscles, and I've never had defined muscles before. I had somebody tell me the other day, oh my God, look at those arms. And I'm like, oh, I have arms. So when you're over 40, you don't think things like that can happen. And when it does, it's kind of impressive. Then let me show you real quick, and I don't know if I did this correctly. Yep, there it is. Maybe I didn't do it correctly. What happened here? Can you see that still?
Nope.
Okay. And now I don't know where I can share. Let me try this again. No, something happened to where I can't share the picture of the Shred guidelines.
Well, I could pull them up in a minute. Give me just a minute and I'll work on it. You keep talking.
Okay, so really the shred guidelines, like I said earlier, we started off with the 10 days to get our feet wet into the program, and we've gone consistently, like we start today, and we're going to shred consistently till Christmas, just because to avoid the blah days in the midst of all the holiday stuff. So you're going to add the trio, the Juice Plus trio, 2 complete shakes a day. This says plenty of water, but I always tell people at least half your body weight in water, in ounces a day. Sleep 7 to 8 hours, and exercise most days. What we eliminate is gluten, dairy, caffeine, alcohol, processed foods, artificial and refined sugars, and eating after 6 p.m. There's an asterisk there that says eating after 6 p.m., but this is good for pregnant mamas, this is good for kids, this is good for anybody from birth to on their way out. But if you work shift work, obviously after 6 p.m. is not going to work. Pregnant mamas don't get regulated. If they need to eat, they eat. And really, it's a 12-hour break for your digestive system. So if you eat breakfast at 8 in the morning, then you don't want to eat after 8 p.m. in the evening. So those are the guidelines. And I still can't figure out why my computer did that. I don't know what happened to me sharing, but and everybody that invited you to these, they have this picture and they can share it with you as well. And I think, Melanie, are you going to take over?
Yes, I will do that. Okay, so now I'm going to share screen with you so I can show you my picture while I'm telling my story. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so there I am on the top left where it says then. That was 13 years ago when my little baby, who is a freshman in college, was 5 years old, and I heard about Juice Plus. So at the time, I had excruciating insomnia, and I had sometimes debilitating joint pain, which was mostly in my back, frequent colds and flus, thinking there just had to be more to life, y'all. I mean, here I was in my 40s and just feeling not vibrant at all and not excited about my life. And it just didn't feel right to me. Like, this is not the way life was meant to be. And the women in my family sometimes live into their 90s, which meant I was only halfway. And really, I'm going to live out the last half of my life just feeling blah. And also, I forgot to say, I had been on a diet for literally 40 years. I never seemed to lose weight, or if I did, it came right back, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, and it was just discouraging and frustrating. And then enter these plant concentrates, which I fondly call my magic beans. We got some background noise. I'm wondering if somebody needs to be muted.
Are there questions on here? Yeah, a couple more people joined us.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So if you know how, mute yourself. Otherwise, I can mute people out. Okay, so then enter my magic beans, as I call them, and I start taking them, and within one season, my energy came up, my sleep improved, my afternoon nap disappeared, and I went through the first winter of my life probably without getting a cold or a flu or the horrible strep throat that it usually turned into. And so that was pretty exciting. I mean, that's just the first season that I took it, and I've been taking it for 13 years. And about a year and a half in, I dropped 2 sizes one season suddenly without hardly trying at all, which I was pretty excited about. And then I got off thyroid meds. And here's what's really remarkable. Is that my blood work gets better every single year. And how could that even be? That is not what's supposed to happen. But here I am 13 years later, and that is what's happening. And then what happened to me at one point was that as I'm watching Cammie, I just kind of felt like I plateaued, like I've gone down a couple sizes. I forget if it's 2 or 3. I don't know. It's a lot. And I just was thinking, what do I need? I want to take my health to the next level. So I was watching Cammie, and I decided, all right, this is what I want to do. I want to get a little bit more serious, and I'm going to take my health to the next level. So I'm going to do the Shred 10, and I'm going to do it really seriously. So I started doing that on September 10th this fall, and some really cool things have happened in that amount of time. Now, I have shredded off and on since September 10th. We need to mute somebody else. And I've mostly been on, but you know what? Over the holidays, I enjoyed myself. I had some fun. So that's really cool. Now, keep in mind that I am now 60 years old. And in the past couple of months, however long that is, I've gone down 7 pounds. And during that amount of time, I have been traveling. So in a 30-day period in October and November, I was out of town 21 days out of 30. So I did this while I was traveling, so it can be done while you're traveling and over the holidays. So that's pretty amazing if you ask me. So other things that have been health benefits for me is that belly fat and really everything fat has greatly decreased. But the belly fat is of particular concern to me because my dad died of diabetes, and that's a family pattern. And so I know that that fat's really dangerous in that particular part of my body. So I just love that things are improving there. My skin is glowing. Habits have changed. And I think the big thing about the shred is that think about more than shredding pounds, because some people don't need to lose weight, but we are really shredding the bad habits that we know have not been serving us. And we all know we have them if we're honest with ourselves, right? So my energy levels are like through the roof, y'all. I cannot believe the amount of stuff that I am doing. I'm running, which is crazy, and just getting a ridiculous amount of things done, which comes in real handy over the holidays, doesn't it, with everything that we have to do. But like Cammie had said, I think I had played around with the shred before, but I decided to get really serious and do a super pure shred. Like I really am giving up all that stuff it says, and I really am adding in all the other things that they say to do. And wow, what a difference. So, one thing that I forgot to say is while this has been going on, my sugar cravings have completely disappeared. And anyone who loves me and knows me really well knows that I like to eat ice cream for dinner. Occasionally it happens. And when I say ice cream for dinner, I mean a pint of Haagen-Dazs. Okay, I really like ice cream. And I don't want it anymore. So it's not like I'm making a decision not to have it, but because I'm shredding and those toxins are disappearing from my body, along with those toxins, what has disappeared are sugar cravings. Now, I get to go into the holidays with those sugar cravings gone, and I find that I make better choices. I look at things and go, that looks good. This, not so much. No, thank you. You know, because I really like what's happening to me, and it's been so exciting. So anybody who's listening, if you're thinking about taking your health to the next level, oh my gosh. So I want to introduce you to my daughter, Mindy, who also is a pediatric ER nurse and brings some medical expertise in. And I just want her to talk about, in addition to her own story, why these things might be happening in our bodies because of the shred. So Mindy, take it away, girl.
Hello. So fun to have everybody here. I love it. So I was very much in the same boat as my mom, watching Cammie get skinnier and cuter and healthier, and was like, she looks better than I do, and that's not okay. And I had a baby in March. I hemorrhaged and was really sick afterwards for a while. And so while I had a super smooth, super healthy pregnancy, I did not have a super smooth, super healthy postpartum period. And so I was also eating ice cream for dinner like it was my job. And coffee and wine because I had a newborn, and just not taking the greatest care of my body because I was having a hard time. And so I wasn't losing the baby weight, and I just didn't feel good. And just that blah, icky feeling. So my mom and I decided together that we needed to shred more seriously because we are either each other's best asset or worst saboteur. I'm making up words, sabotager. That's not a word. And so we decided we needed to do this together. And so since the middle of September, I am down 13 pounds now, which is crazy. But more than that, like, I feel so much better. My skin has cleared up. So I was getting these sunspots on my face, and you can just barely see it now. So I had this crazy sunspot right here that kept getting bigger and bigger. And in the pictures of my daughter when she's a newborn, it's really pronounced. And that's just a sign of toxins in your body. Our bodies are super smart, and our livers and kidneys work 24/7 to get toxins out of our body. And we really appreciate that, livers and kidneys that we all have. But sometimes they can't do enough. And so our bodies are really smart, and they're going to put toxins in slightly more safe places than, like your heart and your intestinal organs and your brain and those things that are really important. And so your body puts toxins in fat. That's one of the reasons we store belly fat and all fat, because your body knows that's a safer place to store toxins. And another place is in your skin. And so you'll see that as sunspots, you'll see that as acne and all sorts of different stuff. And so I was watching these sunspots grow and become more pronounced, and knew that was just another way of my body saying, I'm not happy, you're not doing a great job right now, please take care of me. So I started shredding and not even thinking about the sunspot. And all of a sudden, I thought I had a giant zit there. Like it got all red and inflamed and irritated. And then it got all scaly and nasty looking. And then when it all healed over, the sunspot was gone. And it just has been crazy to me. And it's such a silly little thing on the surface, but it just shows me what happens when you feed your body really stellar nutrition and just give it a chance to heal itself. Our bodies can do really remarkable things when we give them the right fuel. And inflammation is really the root of pretty much all disease, from everything to cancer to heart disease, all the autoimmune diseases. So many of those things have a huge foundation in inflammation. And so to know that I'm reducing the inflammation in my body and I'm getting rid of toxins is super encouraging, because I have a daughter now and I want to be around for her for a really long time. And I want to be a stellar mom and able to do everything with her. So I'm super excited, and my sugar cravings are gone too, which is absurd because, guys, I really like chocolate a lot. And it's not even so much a matter of self-control anymore. Like, I shouldn't eat that. That's not the right choice. It's more like, I don't really want that, which is weird. It's really weird, but wonderful. So yeah, I'm down 13 pounds and excited to see what's going to happen next, and excited to see what else my body can do when I keep feeding it stellar nutrition.
That is amazing. So I love the part that you said about the self-control, how it wasn't self-control, because I know that every single person that listens to this, we try hard. And sometimes you feel really bad. Like, what is the matter with me? Why can't I do that? And it turns out that it's a lot more that our bodies are so full of toxins that makes us crave bad things. And that as the toxins leave, the cravings go with it. And then you have more self-control. But that's the secret there. It's so amazing. So I love that. And one thing I love about what just happened here tonight is that we've got women in 3 different decades. Mindy is 32, Cammie's in her 40s, and I'm 60. And so the shred is good for anybody in any life stage. I love that about it. And that it's about taking your health to the next level. And one of the nurses on our team says that the Shred 10 will improve any health issue. I don't care who you are and where you are in your health journey, whether you're just starting out or you're super, super healthy, doing the Shred 10 for whatever time that you choose to do it. It's usually 10 days, but like we said, we're just choosing to take this all the way up until Christmas Eve because we like what's happening to us. But it's going to improve things. And the more you do it, the more you're going to see those improvements. So I hope that everybody who's listening just heard something that was an encouragement to you, and that you'll talk to the person who invited you tonight and just find out about jumping on board this health adventure with us. And we'll be back next month talking about it again and telling more about what happened to us in another month, because it gets better every month. So I hope you'll be there with us then. And I hope you just have the most fantastic night ever. Take care.